Me as a teacher, man, I'm working with like a triple minority. Right? I'm African American. I'm male. I make up 1% of educators in America, a black male. Right? And then my content area, I'm PE lifetime wellness. So I know that I got a tall task, right? Trying to get teacher of the year, being a lifetime wellness PE teacher, right? The audacity of me to believe that I got a shot, right? And so, man, I was a finalist. I'm excited. I'm like, oh, I'm in the. Not only was I nominated, not only was I eligible, I'm like, oh, I'm a finalist. I'm a top 3 out of 100 plus teachers. And man, we had the voting yesterday for the second round. And man, I was anxious, I was nervous, I was excited, and got to school today. I'm in first block. I checked my email, I checked the email. I see, you can see a little bit in the email, how you read the email without opening it. And I see congratulations. And I opened it, and it was congratulations, but it wasn't to me, man. What up, everybody? You're now watching and listening to another episode of the Tackle Thursday with JK Podcast. I am your host, JK. And you know I'm all about helping young adults win in different and multiple areas of their life by tackling different topics on each episode of the Tackle Thursday with JK Podcast. And today, man, the topic that we're tackling today is disappointed but not discouraged. Disappointed but not discouraged, right? And anytime, man, I bring different episodes or different topics, man, that I tackle, man, a lot of it is straight from what I didn't went through, what I might be going through, or what God has blessed me to overcome. Some of it be right in the moment. And today is one of those episodes, man. It's one of those topics, man. Disappointed but not discouraged, because right now, man, I'm disappointed. And I get into what I'm disappointed about. But this particular topic was inspired by Pastor Mike Jr. Pastor Mike Jr. doing this thing, man, down in Alabama. And y'all probably be seeing him on his church is Rock City Church, and y'all probably be seeing him on different on your different social medias, taking little snippets of his messages. But I was listening to one of his, and I heard him say it before, but I was listening to one of his messages, I think from this past Sunday, and he was just talking about how he's killing the game in gospel music, like Stellar Awards, Artist of the Year, all of that, man. Like back to back, he winning so many awards, and he thought that he was gonna be a Grammy nominee, right, for the Grammys. And it was like he was around the TV and he was waiting for his kids to he was waiting for them to announce the nominees, right? And he didn't hear his name. And he talked about how he was disappointed, but he wasn't discouraged. And the difference between the two is like disappointed is like, man, I was expecting something. I was expecting some results, right? And I'm sad, right, that I didn't get it. But I'm not discouraged, right? And he was explaining how discouraged is when it gets in your heart, when it takes your fight, when it takes the fight out of you, when you're discouraged about something, you just give up on it totally, that you don't get back up, and it gets inside your heart, right? But disappointment is just like, man, I'm disappointed. It hurt because I wanted it, but I'm still in good spirits. And that's the topic, man, we tackling today. And because I know as a young adult, and I know those that are watching or listening, man, that it just might be something that you're disappointed about. That it might have been a job you applied for and they chose somebody else. It might have been a promotion you wanted and they promoted somebody else. It might have been you thought you was going to get all conference this year, and you didn't get all conference, or you thought you were going to get first team and you got third team, or whatever the case may be. You might be disappointed about something, right? You thought the check was gonna come in, and the check ain't come in yet. And so for me, the reason why I sit here and I say that I'm disappointed and not discouraged is because for those that's been rocking with me, for the last 3.5, almost 4 years on a podcast, man, I'm a teacher, right? And so I didn't know this when I wasn't a teacher, but when I got in, I didn't even realize in my first year of teaching is that they have teacher of the years, right? Teacher of the year. And when I first got my first year of teaching, I didn't even think about that. That wasn't even, I don't even think that was a goal of mine of wanting to be teacher of the year. And then my second year, I went to a new school, the school that I'm at now, and I seen that they had teacher of the year. And so I was like, okay, I'm about to make this a goal. That's a goal of mine, right? Because being an athlete, and I talked about this with FAMU football team, when I talked about finding a carrot, right? You got to find carrots to chase, right? After you accomplish a goal, that there's more for you to accomplish. That to stay motivated, to stay inspired. One, you want to be motivated and inspired intrinsically, but you also, find extrinsic motivation when you talk about setting goals. And so that was a goal of mine to win, teacher of the year. And so last year, I wanted to be teacher of the year, and I didn't get it right, and I get more into that. Right, last year, I was going hard for teacher of the year, man. I was grinding. I was doing doing my best to get teacher of the year last year, and come to find out when the nominations came out last year, I didn't see my name. I was like, whoa. I'm like, man, I've been working so hard. I thought I was at least gonna have a shot to be teacher of the year, and it was a glitch in the system. They hadn't updated my status because it's like you got to be like 3 years of teaching and things, and I was in my third year and I was certified, but the system had not updated, and so here I was expecting to have a shot of being teacher of the year, and I wasn't eligible for it, and that broke my heart. That broke my heart, man. Like I was hurt. I was disappointed, and so, but I got over it, bounced back, and I was just like, okay, next year I know I'm gonna be qualified, everything right in the system. So here we go, going into this school year. I'm like, man, you know what? I'm going after it. It just like the competitor in me, the athlete in me, being, finding things to motivate me, finding things to pick me up, outside of my why. My why is right to impact, make a life enhancing, life enriching impact in the lives of the scholars I teach, right? So I got that down packed, but I got that motivation too, because I'm like, man, I want it all. I want to be the best teacher in the world. Like that's my mindset, that's my mentality. And so I'm like, I'm going for it, right? So boom. I was teacher of the month, first month of school, teacher of the month. I'm like, okay, I'm on track, right? I'm on track. Man, I'm doing a lot at the school, and so we came out teacher of the year voting. I think it was last week, right? And boom, man, we got over 100 plus teachers, and I was a finalist. I was a finalist. I was in the top 3 out of 100 plus teachers, and man, you talking about, man, so excited, so happy, because me as a teacher, man, I'm working with like a triple minority, right? I'm African American, I'm male, I make up 1% of educators in America, a black male, right? And then my content area, I'm PE, lifetime wellness. So I know that I got a tall task, right? Trying to get teacher of the year, being a lifetime wellness PE teacher, right? The audacity of me to believe that I got a shot, right? And so, man, I was a finalist. I'm excited. I'm like, oh, I'm in the. Not only was I nominated, not only was I eligible, I'm like, oh, I'm a finalist. I'm a top 3 out of 100 plus teachers, and man, we had the voting yesterday for the second round. And man, I was anxious, I was nervous, I was excited, and got to school today. I'm in first block. I checked my email, I checked the email. I see, you can see a little bit in the email. How you read an email without opening it. And I see congratulations, and I opened it, and it was congratulations, but it wasn't to me. And man, I was shocked because my expectations, and that's one thing I want my young adults out there and those that's watching, that watch this, that's listen to this. Man, your expectations need to be up here, man. Like, I don't care how many L's you done took in life, man. Always come out, bounce back, and have your level of expectation up here. My level of expectation was so up here that I was shocked. I said to myself when I looked, I said, I didn't win. I literally said, I was like, I didn't win. Because that was the confidence, the belief, the faith that I have in God, and I was believing and praying for, and the confidence that, hey man, this is mine, and the expectation. And the thing I learned, and I always been like this, because when I didn't get drafted in the NFL, and then I tried out and I got cut, I just remember my mom saying to me, she said, Jeremy, like, how do you keep getting up and going after it? And I just basically, I told her, I said, Mom, I said, I'm going to always, based on paraphrasing, I was like, Mom, I'm going to always keep bouncing back. I said, no matter after a failure, after I didn't get drafted, it hurt my feelings, but I was able to heal up, and then I put my expectations back up there. Then when I tried out for a team and I was on it and I got cut, I was hurt, but then I was able to heal up emotionally. God healed me, blessed me to heal, recover, and I had my expectations. Then when I tried out for the Jets and it didn't work out, same thing. And I did my pro day again twice, same thing. Right, and this is no different. That I'm hurt. I'm disappointed, man. I'm disappointed. That that what I wanted, that what I was working for, that I believe that I was deserving of. I'm disappointed that it didn't happen. And man, salute to the other two nominees that was with me, and salute to the educator that won. Everybody deserving, man. Everybody is deserving and was deserving, and the one that won, so deserving of it. And but I wanted to be 100, man, and I wanted to get on here, because I don't think I really, even though I think it's true, but I don't think I really ever looked at my podcast and said, like, man, this is therapeutic, right? But tonight I just felt it on my heart. It was heavy on my heart. On my way home from the barber shop, it was already late, and asked Brittany, I'm like, hey, look, man, I know I've been gone all day, since this morning. I said, man, you cool if I record this podcast, right? This episode tonight, because I knew, like, man, this episode is gonna be therapeutic for me, because like there's raw emotions. Like, this is what I'm sitting in, I'm feeling right at this moment. And I wanted to be 100 with my audience. I wanted to be 100 with the people that listen to my podcast, that watch my podcast. Like, man, like, I wanted to talk about that topic. Disappointed, but not discouraged, because I know it's other young adults, is other people that's listening to this, watching it live, but that will listen to this, that might be going through their own type of disappointment, their own type of things not turning out the way that they want to at that moment. And you feeling you experiencing a feeling of disappointment, and I just encourage you, if you in that moment, or when you do have, or if you do have a disappointment feeling, just to not let yourself go to discouragement. And I think that the way you do that is just to keep is to find the positives in the disappointment. I think, with me being disappointed that I didn't get teacher of the year this year, the positives is, man, I was one of 3 teachers out of 100+ teachers that was a finalist. So that's a dub in itself. I'm a black male teacher. Uh, that's a dub in itself, right? The other two nominees were women. So that's a dub in itself. And then when you talk about my content area that I teach, PE Lifetime Wellness, for me to even be considered Teacher of the Year nominee, and that's the content I teach, because I know it's an important content, but I know that's not perceived that way a lot in education. That's a dub in itself. And so I got to take those W's. I got to take those wins. And I got to look at it like, hey, last year I wasn't even on the ballot. This year I'm on the ballot, and I'm in the, I was in the finals, the final running. And then, and so I build on that, and I build on that, and I use that as motivation. I use that as, encouragement. I use that as a way to keep driving my hunger as an educator. That there's more for me to accomplish. There's more for me to go out and attain. And so, if you experiencing some disappointment right now, try to find the positives. Try to find the positives in your disappointment. Find the bright side, even though it hurts right now. Like it hurts, yo. Because those that listen, man, when you put your all in something, and you expect, because you put your all in something, you expecting for it to end the way that you want it to end, or the results to come out the way that you want it to come out. And when it doesn't, it hurts. It hurts. And I remember last year when I wasn't nominated, when I wasn't even eligible, I said, man, how am I gonna put myself in a position next year to be? I said, man, I don't even know how I can top last year. Right. And that's how I kind of feel right now. I'm like, man, all the stuff that I'm doing at the school right now, I'm blessed to do all the opportunities God blessing me to do at the school. I'm like, man, how do I top this to put myself back in this position? But at the end of the day, I know it's by the grace of God, and it's not me putting myself in that position. It's God blessing me to be in that position. But it's like a weird conundrum. Like I'm disappointed, but it's like this type of stuff is what makes me tick, because it gives me the feeling of when my football season would end, and we didn't end in a championship, I would be more motivated to go out and to give my all, to go out and try to go after another championship. And so that's kind of like where I sit at, man. And so, man, like I say, man, to those out there that might be experiencing some disappointment right now, or you moving forward, if you experience some disappointment, I just encourage you to find the positives in the disappointment. Be honest with yourself, though. You got to admit, this is what I'm feeling. This is why I'm feeling that way. And then find the positives in the outcome, and to prevent yourself from going into discouragement, because you don't want to get it. You don't want your disappointment to turn into discouragement, and it gets in your heart where you give up, or where you quit on your purpose, or where you quit on your dream, or where you quit on what God has called you to do. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to get to a place of discouragement, man. So, man, hey, with that being said, like I say, man, I had to do this episode, man. This is true emotions. Disappointed, but not discouraged, man. I am disappointed. I did not. I was a teacher of the year finalist at my school, and we did our second voting, and the results came back today, and I did not win. I am disappointed. I am hurt, but I'm not discouraged. And I know that I'm gonna bounce back. I'm gonna come back stronger, man. But I just wanted to be real. I wanted to be transparent with how I'm feeling. But it all work out, man. And God got even greater and better for me. All right. And so, man, hey, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Y'all continue to wake up, striving to win on purpose, be intentional about winning, Amen. And y'all have a blessed rest of the day, man.